This segment is sponsored by AAA Mid-Atlantic.
Think back and remember those days when we were able to travel and take vacations with family and friends. It's been a year since all of it stopped, and really the pause button was pushed as a result of COVID-19. But there is good news. As the vaccine continues to be distributed, more people are looking forward to booking travel plans. So when is it safe to travel? You might be considering that question. Today, we have travel expert to answer these questions for us. We welcome Micki Dudas, the Director of Leisure Travel Sales with AAA Mid-Atlantic. She's with us here in Virginia this morning. Micki, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, and thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, our pleasure. This is one of those things that I daydream about quite often. I think many of us have. It's been a long time, but as things start to evolve and things are around the corner, what are you seeing in the travel industry? What are people doing? And are we booking vacations? And when is AAA Mid-Atlantic feeling that the time might be right?
Well, as the vaccination is indeed increasing, and a lot of Americans are feeling a little more comfortable and a little more prepared to consider travel. We've had a lot of inspirational planning time with virtual events and reading blogs and thinking about travel. So AAA, as you can expect, is seeing a little bit more of an interest in people booking for travel, as well as considering advanced planning for travel. Of course, travel, we still remind people of our CDC guidelines, but travel really is a personal choice. And so for those that are interested in starting and to get ready to leave the four walls, AAA is prepared to help people travel.
It's really encouraging to hear, Micki. That is great. I like that idea that we have been doing that inspirational planning over the last year or so. You're seeing trends. Where are people heading? Where are they thinking about going? What are some of the top destinations that you're hearing about?
Well, two words, sun and fun. People certainly are looking at those destinations that are calling their name, the beaches, the oceans. So we are seeing people looking at Mexico, the Caribbean, but certainly we also know people are considering those theme parks and of course our own beaches, down in Florida, the Carolinas. People are really investing in trying to recapture some of those lost moments where they sat out for a year. In fact, I believe there are certain people that are kind of looking at this revenge spending where, they paused and they didn't get a chance to do, their spring vacations, their family summer vacations. So for a lot of people, they are considering perhaps now's the time to explore and get back out there. So yes, we are seeing the fun and sun destinations are certainly predominant.
It makes sense. You're ready for it, and you've been thinking about it a lot. As you put these things together, you may start formulating that plan. What are some of the things that we should consider when doing that travel and confirming it in 2021 and beyond? Are there different logistics?
I've told a lot of people that I really feel, AAA feels that advanced planning is really one of the key elements of traveling for 2021. Understanding that in some cases, if your travels are a road trip, you really need to think about advanced reservations. And many people that like to kind of be spur of the moment, you need to think about the availability of theme park tickets. So we're encouraging people to plan accordingly. We're still in, this COVID-19 era. So you need to be aware that there are state regulations that you need to be mindful of. So if you are traveling by car, you certainly need to be aware of that. If you are flying, of course, there's CDC mandates. Our suggestion and recommendations certainly take advantage of a travel professional. Our travel professionals are living day 24/7, what our travelers need to be aware of. And flexibility is so important, but we do advise advanced planning, understand your risk potential. People need to be aware that things have changed a little bit at the airports. You're going to see some different safety protocols. But again, travel advisors are your friend and your advocate during these times.
Great advice. And Micki, we're out of time, but for the folks who are watching right now who say, yeah, I'm daydreaming, but I'm still a little unsure. Also a key bit of advice to use that travel professional. Any other words of wisdom?
Safe travels begin with a travel professional at AAA.
Well, that says it all. Micki, thank you so much for making time. I want to get back to that notebook that says here, 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 and here, but I'll start doing the planning and make sure that we take it slow. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For more information, you can get in touch with your local AAA retail store with locations in Chesterfield, Colonial Heights, Glenside, Scotts Addition, and Swift Creek, or visit AAA.com/travel.
All right, Jess, you did a lot of talking about travel in there, and obviously some great advice about the pros at AAA who know all the stuff that we haven't even thought about. You know, it's like you go to the airport and now you got to stand on one foot while you take your shoe off or whatever they've got out there. Do you have a favorite spot you want to go to?
Well, it's funny because remember earlier in the show, we were talking about the wheels starting to spin and the rust flakes got in the way. I've had this conversation with my husband a few times, like, okay, when we can travel again, or we start thinking about a trip, where do we want to go? And then it's like, whoosh, everything like flies out of my brain. The only thing I can think of is last year we had 2 trips that we had intended. We'd taken the time off. We were ready to go and do. We'd even gone and gotten passports to go visit Niagara Falls. We were going to do this big trip and take the girls and thought that would be fun. So I'll recycle last year's choices, Niagara Falls. Yeah. And I always, no matter when it is, I always want to go to the Asheville area. So outside of Boone, there's this park called Land of Oz. It's a whole long story behind it, but I'd like to head and visit that. That was also on the docket last year. How about you?
Yeah. Asheville is always on my list too, because that's my mom's hometown, and I've still got lots of cousins around there, and so we kind of wrap that up, and we can visit, and then we can go stay in town and get away from them, so we don't wear out our welcome, or vice versa. But I really want to go across our country by car one time. I've never done that. And I want to go west. I definitely want to go, the Grand Canyon, the whole thing, all the way across. So
I'm putting this out in the ether right now, because when we talk about manifesting what we want to do, you have to speak it and put it out there. How about we get a giant motor coach and you and I hit the road and we have just like a little motor coach going across the U.S., and we broadcast Virginia this morning for 2 months from across the states. Are you with me?
Wow. Would we still be friends, and would I still have a job? That might be a little much.
Remember the Griswold movie where Grandma had to ride on the top in the rocking chair?
If
you see a rocking chair, that it's either you or me, one of us. We're getting some fresh air. Stay with us, friends. Yeah. We'll be right back.